Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coralie and today I'm going to be talking about crazy Australian news stories. Because around 6 months ago, I remember listening to the radio and hearing a news story that a cyclist had been struck down by a kangaroo. So the story that I heard was in fact a more serious story. I think the man ended up quite badly injured and in hospital. I mean, he's okay, so it's all right. But when Googling this to try and find the news story, I found another one because apparently this is not the first time this has happened. And it comes with a video, so please enjoy this video of a cyclist being knocked over by a kangaroo. I just love the fact that this is not the first time that this has happened. Like, this is a continuous thing, apparently. If you're a cyclist, you're in danger of being knocked over by a kangaroo. This next one is what reminded me to make this video. I was originally inspired by the kangaroo one, and then I saw this one on the news probably only a week or so ago, a couple of weeks ago. And the headline is, "Man dressed only in undies chases intruder with didgeridoo." What really inspired me to talk about this story was that the man recreated this for the news. So once it had all happened and the news crew turned up to interview this man and have his story told on national television, he decided it was a good idea to run down the street with a didgeridoo in his underwear for the cameras. So again, this one comes with footage. I'm going to play that right now before we continue.
Out there in all my glory. I notice I run faster naked.
Now I'm going to read a little bit of this news story because it's quite fascinating. Dressed in just his underpants and wielding a didgeridoo, an Adelaide man has chased an intruder from his property, leading to a swift arrest. I am now very proud to be Adelaidean. Adelaidean? I'm going to go with that. Radelaide? Oh. This man then quotes in his interview, he says, "I noticed I run faster naked, semi-naked anyway, so I might try that." I don't know what to say other than if you're Australian, just make sure you've got a didgeridoo, because who needs a baseball bat when you got a didgeridoo? Okay. Okay, so this next news story was quite a big news story. I'm pretty sure it circulated around the world, and that is man punches kangaroo in the face to rescue his dog. So this was video footage that was captured. These men were camping and a kangaroo had this man's dog in a chokehold. And kangaroos are quite interesting animals and they can be very dangerous. And the way that this man rescued his dog was to run up to the kangaroo and punch it in the face. The kangaroo then let go of the dog and was ready to fight. But it's an incredible story because kangaroos can be very dangerous and can throw a punch literally, and obviously you do whatever you can to save your pet. And obviously that kangaroo was fine, he just got a little bit of a sore face, but maybe don't headlock someone's dog and that wouldn't happen to you. Okay. So this next news story is about a pole dancing koala. So this koala happened to wander into someone's home, and this person's particular home had a pole in it because pole dancing is a very good activity for fitness. Like, you got good core muscles, it's a legit thing. But this lady, once finding this kangaroo, that's not the right animal, once finding the koala inside her home attached to her pole, decided to film it, and the koala was very excited to have an audience and gave a little show to the lady. He climbed up the pole and slid down it, and it's just wonderful.
He's climbing. Oh no, he's gonna get hurt. It's okay, Bobby, it's a slippery one, isn't it? I have the same problem.
Okay, so this next news story is titled, "Man dressed as Santa Claus robs Melbourne post office. It starts with, at first, when this Kris Kringle-clad thief entered the post office on Saturday, people thought he was going to hand out treats. Instead, as surveillance video shows, the Santa suspect stuffed an unreleased amount of cash into a sack before fleeing. He got away not in a sleigh powered by reindeer, but in a cream-coloured Jeep with stolen license plates. Merry Christmas! Okay, so this next one is one of my favourite ones that I've stumbled upon, and it's titled Penguins Stolen from SeaWorld Australia by Drunk Thieves. And the reason I really love this story is because it was a complete drunken misunderstanding, I guess you could call it, and I'm going to read you what it says here. Okay, so after this penguin had been stolen, the 3 people who did it sent footage of the penguin to the TV station, hoping to prove they meant the animal no harm during what they insist was a drunk prank gone too far. Upon waking up with the penguin in their midst, one of the friends allegedly panicked and dropped the bird off at a nearby waterway known to have sharks. So you can just picture 3 men breaking into SeaWorld, stealing a penguin, and then waking up in the morning and freaking out because there's a penguin with them. Like, this actually reminds me of a story that my sister told me, that she knew a teacher that took a group of students to a zoo for a field trip, and one of them stole a meerkat. And when they were trying to get on the bus, he was like squirming and he had a meerkat under his jumper that was scratching him. So the fact that this student, this child, got a meerkat from the zoo under his jumper all the way to the bus, that's almost as impressive as breaking into SeaWorld and stealing a penguin. Okay, this next one is crop circles created by wallabies stoned on opium, Australian officials say. Some people believe space aliens are responsible for those bizarre patterns found in farmland known as crop circles. Others are now saying the culprits are actually spaced out critters. The marsupials are eating the poppies that grow on the plants, which are used to make painkillers like morphine. But what they do next is even more bizarre. The hopped up creatures often walk around in the fields, creating crop circles that initially confused farmers. It's not just the wallabies having a good time inflicting damage on the medical crops. Sheep have also been seen tramping on the crops. So basically, everyone's just high in Australia. Oh, that was a terrible joke. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this next article is another very Australian headline, something that you more than likely wouldn't get anywhere else in the world. Man tries to rob a petrol station with a boomerang and fails. Just let that sink in for a minute. He failed miserably in his attempt to stick up a service station with the Aussie icon by waving it at an attendant, learn to speak. He was asking people for money at the service station and had a boomerang in his hand. He was arrested and given a notice of public nuisance. He was arrested but was not charged because he didn't steal anything. I'm just going to take a quick moment to talk about how much I'd prefer someone to try to rob me holding a boomerang than a gun. So America maybe put in gun laws and people might start using boomerangs instead. Just a thought. None of my business, but just a thought. Okay, again, another Aussie headline, which is what this video is all about. Western Australian teen rides bike home and makes breakfast after being bitten by a shark. A 13-year-old boy was surfing when he was bitten by an approximately 2-meter long shark. He rode home around 2 kilometers and made his breakfast before being taken to hospital by his father. I had some raisin toast. It was good, he said. Dad was home. He didn't believe me when I casually said, I got bitten by a shark. He said he was mostly disappointed in the damage to his wetsuit and planned to get back in the water tomorrow. What a legend. Again, this is another story that just makes me proud to be from Adelaide. Adelaide man riding motorised esky reported for driving unlicensed, unregistered vehicle. An Adelaide man spotted riding a motorised esky has been reported for driving without a licence. Well, there's your first mistake. Don't get on a motorised esky without your bloody licence. Like, come on, you idiot. An officer saw the esky being driven through a shopping centre car park on Monday at 6:45 p.m. The officer spoke to the driver and warned him the esky could not be legally driven on the roads. But the man was seen a short time later driving the esky on the roads. Dun dun dun. I mean, sometimes you just gotta have your beer, your West End, your VB close by. You know what I'm saying, lads? Okay, so I have one more news story for you guys, and this one was very recent, last month I want to say. I remember hearing it on the news and it's a good one. 92-year-old man took his mobility scooter for a joyride on the freeway. This is an elderly man going about 16 kilometers an hour on a 100 kilometer an hour freeway in a mobility scooter. Now, the best thing about this is a lot of people tried to help this man. You know, one man pulled up and yelled, "Move over, mate, you're on the freeway." And to this man's shock horror, the 92-year-old man responded and yelled, "Get Aussie, Aussie, Aussie." My favourite thing that made me and my whole family just absolutely start laughing when we were listening to this on the news is they were interviewing the man that, you know, drove behind this mobility scooter and tried to keep him safe and called the police to get him off the road. And the officer on the phone asked what colour the mobility scooter was. And this man's response was, "Brown and black. There's only one. You won't miss it." Which, I mean, do you really have to ask what colour mobility scooter it is? It's like, oh crap, it's the mobility scooter fun run. There's hundreds of them on the freeway. No, there's just one with an angry 92-year-old man. You can't miss it. Okay, so that is just a few absolutely crazy Australian news headline stories. I have been inspired by this. I believe Brianne Worth did videos like this and they were hilarious, so I can definitely credit her for some inspiration. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see another episode of this, I'd be more than happy to make it because it's a lot of fun searching the internet for weird news stories. Maybe I could do another country, like crazy American news stories. Apparently Florida's just crazy. I don't know, let me know what you think, but thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I put out new videos every week. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more. I've got my dinosaur merch link down below. Be sure to check that out if you're interested. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys.